retrieving of the bodies from that part of the Ashanti region where the plane crashed. We know now that the bodies are on their way from the Ashanti region, and any moment from now, they will be touching down here at the Air Force Base in Accra. In your shots, if my cameraman can pan, in your shot, we see 3 tables which have been arranged. We have 8 tables, I beg your pardon. We have 8 hearses which are waiting on the tarmac here to receive the bodies of Dr. Omane Boama, who is the Minister for Defense, Dr. Murtala Mohammed, who is the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. We are also awaiting the arrival of the body of Honorable Muniru, who is currently the acting Deputy National Security Coordinator. He was a former Minister for Agriculture in the latter part of His Excellency John Dramani Maham's first administration. We are waiting for those. We also know that we have on the aircraft that is bringing the bodies the former Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Sapon. So the military rehearsing, and we are told that any moment from now we should be receiving the bodies of the 8 persons who were involved in today's tragic incident in the Ashanti region. We are told by the military officials here that that particular ceremony is going to be a very short and brief one, and so any moment from now the military will get ready and stand by as they receive the bodies. So you hear in the background sights and sounds. Here are the Air Force Base where the 8 bodies will be received. We have Muslim clerics who will be performing some Muslim rites, and then we also have Christian pastors who will also be performing some rites before the bodies would be moved into the hearses that are on standby. We're getting signal that any moment from now the aircraft should be touching down. So if you hear in your background, you hear a command that the drivers of the 8 hearses should begin to board the vehicle and put them on start as we await the arrival of the 8 bodies. We are still here. We're bringing you live pictures from the Air Force Base, Bema Camp here in Accra, and we solemnly await the arrival of the 8 bodies involved in today's horrific accident in the Ashanti region. We hear in the background commands from the military high command to those who must adhere to those commands to ensure that the whole event is in order. In the skies, already we're hearing the sound of the aircraft that is bringing the bodies of the 8 persons who were involved in today's tragic accident there. Any moment from now, that particular aircraft should be touching down. The bodies would be released. Muslim, the Muslims will welcome the Muslim bodies, and then the Christians also do same, and then they will be transported by the 8 hearses to the mortuary. A 3-day national mourning will begin as directed by the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We know already that the 2 Muslims involved would not be buried tomorrow. As early on communicated, that will be done at a later date that will be communicated to us. In the skies, we hear the sound of the aircraft that is bringing down the bodies of the 8 persons who have lost their lives in line of duty, serving the nation, helping in the fight against illegal mining. They were supposed to be a part of that program in Obuasi in Ashanti region, which was supposed to launch a national initiative that will promote responsible mining. Unfortunately, they've lost their lives, and they would, be touching down any moment from now. We have the military high command here at the airport, at the Air Force base. We have Muslim clerics. We have reps from the Christendom who will be performing some rites before the bodies will finally be moved. So on the tarmac, the aircraft has touched down already. Has touched down on the tarmac already. Any moment from now, the bodies will be released, and then they will be carried to the morgue. And as we commence 3 days of national mourning, so there we have it. The aircraft that is carrying the 8 bodies of Wednesday's sad incident that has thrown the whole country into a state of shock and into a state of mourning on the tarmac. We have the Minister of Defense, we have the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology. They will be released any moment from. All right, so the aircraft GHF 550 forces has finally touched down. The various drills and protocols will be carried out, leading to the release of the bodies any moment from now. We see in your shots the Muslim clerics and also the pastor here at the Ghana Armed Forces moving towards the aircraft. They will perform some very brief ceremony, and then the bodies would be sent into 8 hearses that are packed on the tarmac here at the Ghana Air Force Base. A sad day for the whole of the country as we begin 3 days of national mourning. We also see in your shots dignitaries from the ruling National Democratic Congress. I see Mr. Japa in the. They have come here to welcome the bodies. Any moment from now, the official ceremony should begin. We see the Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Deborah, here. We also see the General Secretary of the NDC, Honorable Fifi Fiavi Kwete. They have lined up waiting to receive the bodies of the lost souls. We also see here the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stan Dogbe, in a very solemn mood. Here at the Air Force Base, the NDC has lost some great personalities. We see the Executive Secretary to the President here. We also see top members of the NDC. We see the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, here. And then in your shot, we see a leading member of the NDC, Mr. Ejay. We also see the Minister for Government Communication, Honorable Felix Kwache Ofosu, in your shot. All of them have come here as we await the official ceremony that will release the bodies to the heirs for onward
Good evening to
moving to
you all,
the morgue.
Honorable Ministers, CDS, Service Chiefs, Senior Military Officers here in gathered this evening. You are welcome to the Air Force Base, Accra, where this evening we are going to have a very short ceremony to receive the bodies of the deceased personnel of today's unfortunate incident. Currently, we have the firing party and the burial parties moving into position. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Chief of Staff of the Presidency.
Says we should give it a clean sheet.
The firing party, the burial parties are all set now. We'll now await for the aircraft to be opened when all is set for the ceremony to commence.
Chawan.
We are currently waiting for the hearse to park in position while we wait for the aircraft to be opened for commencement of the ceremony.
Yes, so that at least before time.
All right, so we are still here at the airport base. We await the removal of the bodies from the aircraft GH F550, which is carrying the remains of the 8 persons who tragically lost their lives in today's very sad incident in the Ashanti region. We have 8, ambulances and 8 tables on standby in readiness to receive the bodies. Any moment from now, the aircraft would be opened, and then a short ceremony would be conducted. We have a high-powered delegation from government led by the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. In there, we see the Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. We also have the Minister for Government Communication, Felix Kwachio Fosu. I've seen leading members of the NDC. We've seen Mr. Japa. All of them are here in a very solemn posture, awaiting the removal of the bodies from the aircraft. As I said, any moment from now, that should be done. Muslim prayers will be said, Christian prayers will be said, and then the process will begin. So as we hear in the PA system, after all drills and protocols have been carried through, the tail of the aircraft will be opened, and then the bodies brought down. We have on standby, as I said, 8 hearses that will be conveying the bodies to the appropriate places. A 3-day national mourning has been declared by the president. We have also been told that the 2 Muslims involved, Honorable Murtala Mohammed, Doctor, and Honorable Muniru, who is a acting deputy national security coordinator, will not take place tomorrow, as early on communicated. That will be done at a later date, which will be communicated. So we have it in your shot, the military men at the tail of the aircraft, beginning to open it, so the bodies will be released, and then the official ceremony here at the airport base would commence any moment from now. As I said, there is a delegation from government led by the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah. I've also seen Madame Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, who is a special aide to the president. The president, we are told, is in a very...
I would like to request that all those with mobile phones cease or do not carry out any recording on mobile phones. Remember, you are in a security zone and all activities here are restricted. There should be no recording on mobile phones.
All right, so you hear from the background a directive being issued to the media to stop recording on mobile phones, but recording on our various, cameras from our various media houses would continue.
We are now set and we await the opening of the tail of the aircraft. Once the live is opened,
Your live is on.
we will
You should
have
turn it on so that they can get.
the bearer parties moving in to pick up the caskets and move them onto the cataflags that have been laid or been set. When we have all the cataflags set with all the caskets on them, then we will hand over to the clergy for prayers to be said for our beloved departed. Thereafter, we will then move the caskets into the hearse for onward movement to the morgue.
All right, so you see
as they pass by to the cutter flag. The firing party is now ready. Firing party. A request for us to pay the appropriate compliments as the casket moves into position. Second cutter flag will now commence movement to the aircraft. Second bearer party will now commence movement to the aircraft. The second casket has been received by the second bearer party, and they will be now moving to the second cutter flag. The third bearer party is now moving to the aircraft.